complaints today are
lower back pain and my hip.
okay. So low back and hips, a very common complaint for people who especially sit at computers all day long. And Carrie is an avid gym goer, and so we're just gonna fix her, and I'll try to tell you what I'm doing as I'm going along, so you can kind of see that this isn't just regular, crack away and get everything moving. But I just want to basically test her to find out what exactly is happening, and we'll see before and after how the body either responds or doesn't respond. If it doesn't respond, we're going to find what works in order to turn that part of the body on. The first thing we do is we look at the nerve system to find out the nerve system, or the electrical system, the nerve system is going to be turned on. That's the most important. Second, we'll look at structure. We'll see if the structural part of the body works. Not just if they're in place, but we're going to see if they actually move under stress. It's okay if she's just sitting here, maybe nothing hurts because she's not doing anything, but when her body starts to move, starts to get stressed out, that's when the human performance really shines or doesn't shine at all. And being that she's avid, she's got 4 kids, right? 4 kids that she has to take care of. So any of you family members, I'm a father of 2.5. And so when you have kids, you have to keep up with the kids. And if anything goes wrong with you, you're gonna have less of an ability to take care of your family, all right? So even though she's got low back pain, we're gonna look at the whole structure from the top of from the head all the way down to her feet, okay? So first we're gonna start with the hand here. This is an indicator. It's just gonna tell me what the body's doing, all right? Go push up to this guy, push up, push up. So in the beginning, you can kind of see a couple things. One is the arm goes weak, but if you didn't see also, her foot went up, which meant the body is really trying to compensate in order for the body not working correctly. Oftentimes we want to go to the nerve system, like I said, first. So we're going to test the other arm, push up, push up, push up, okay? So we tested the right arm was weak, left arm was strong. So we use the left arm in order to find out how the body's working. Push up again, okay? We'll start at the head, so carry look down to your chest, very good. And push up to this guy, push up, okay? That stays strong, so we stress out the neck is good. Look up to this guy, all the way up, good. So we're going to test Carrie in both flexion and extension, which we did. We're going to go from side to side, then we're going to have her turn her head from side to side. So Carrie, bend here, good. Push up to this guy, push up, good. Bend your head to your right and push up, good. So bending left and right, no problem. Turn left, push up, good. And then to your right and push up, push up, push up. And that's good too. So no problem inside the neck. So the right shoulder that was weak may just be a structural issue, so that's what we're going to find out here. Push up, okay. And that goes weak. Carrie, put your left hand on your shoulder here, good. And push up, push up, push up. Okay, so when she puts her left hand on her right shoulder, it fixes the function of what we call abduction. So there are 2 options. One is either she can just hold her left hand on her shoulder the whole day in order to fix the problem, which is probably not that practical. Or 2, we can just fix the problem right here so that she doesn't have to carry her left arm to her right shoulder. So we're gonna adjust the clavicle. And we're going to adjust the scapula back here to make sure that they're moving okay. All right, we'll try it again. Push up to this guy, push up. Okay, now when we stress out the shoulder stays pretty good. Now as a deltoids, we're going to test the traps. Traps is what most people complain about when they have a job that requires a lot of sitting. Push back toward me, push back, push back. When we test the traps go weak. Okay? So we have weak traps on the right. We'll test the traps on the left-hand side. Push back, push back, push back, push back, push back. Okay. Very common. So anybody that works on a computer usually has a tendency to roll the shoulders forward, which tends to stress out the neck muscles and also the traps. So both sides are equally bad. Again, so I'm going to have Carrie put her left hand on her shoulder right there. And go a little bit further up right there. Good. And now push back, push back. Okay, and so now when she puts her hand here again, we don't want her to have her hold her shoulder the whole day. Push back and push back. The arm stays strong. When she takes her hand off, push back, push back, it goes weak, all right? Do the same thing here. Left side was weak, push back again, good. So we're gonna have her put her right hand on her shoulder, push back, good. So the muscle stays strong, which means that there is a problem in here. It's probably not structural since we just adjusted the scaps, or the scap and the clavicle on the left. We'll go ahead and adjust the scap and the clavicle on the left-hand side as well too. So I said, we adjusted on the right, now we're gonna adjust the left. And we'll retest the traps to see if that works. Push back. It still turns off. So even though we adjusted the scapula and the clavicle, it didn't work. So we're going to go for a little brief massage. We're just going to massage the muscles for about 4 to 5 seconds here just to see if this responds. I'm just going to go right to the belly of the traps. This usually feels pretty good. Again, you don't have to use the machine, but if you have somebody at home that you can massage your shoulders, this is a good thing too. But again, not all massage to the shoulder works as proper therapy. You need to make sure that you have it tested properly. Okay. So with that, for about 4 or 5 seconds there, we're going to test the traps and push back. Again, so now the traps, they're working just fine, especially on the right hand side. We'll test the left hand side too, push back. Good. So both sides are working good. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stress them, and we're going to see if under stress that they're going to be under trouble. So Carrie, bend your head to your left, very good, and push back toward me, push back. Okay, so if we stress the traps out, if we stretch them or stress them, we test them, push, test the other traps here, push back, good. They stay strong, so that's a good thing. Right, test here, push back, bend your head to your right, good, push back, good. Up here, push back, good. So under stress and stretching, the traps stay working, so that's a good thing. All right, so she's gonna be, she's still probably complaining about low back pain, but we have the neck and the upper back and the shoulders all corrected. So next time she goes to the gym, her workout should be a lot stronger. All right, go ahead, turn this way, both legs up on the table. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust her mid back, upper back. Hands here, good. Chin down to your chest, good. Big breath in, breathe out, all the way out. Hit that. Hands across your shoulders. Good. Good. And deep breath in, breath out. Good. So she moved just great. Fantastic. Okay. So what I like to do, I think is very, very important, but I always look at the feet. And the feet are important to look at because guess why? Well, you walk on your feet all day long. You don't walk on your hands or your head, you walk on your feet. So if the feet and the legs are not even, or if they don't work properly, you're gonna have problems later on with either your knees, hips, low back, and eventually that works up to your neck and shoulders. So what I'm saying is that basically you could have headaches, you can have shoulder issues by having issues or malfunction in your feet or the foundation of your body. So we're going to look at the feet. The legs are even. I feel a little bit of tension on her left hand side. Right side feels pretty good. So I kind of think that there might be some issues going on here, which is contributing to her low back issues. So we're going to look at her feet, her knees, and also her hips. Let's go feet apart, push out, push out, push out, good. So her adductors or her glutes, when they work together, they're working just fine. Right side, push out, good. Left, push out. So we're testing her glute medius. Glute medius are fine. Up and up to your right, good. Up and up to your left. Her IT band or TFLs, they're working just fine too. Usually there's an issue with her hip flexors. If there's low back pain going on, up, push up to the sky, push up, push up, push up, push up. Okay, in this case we find that there's a weak set of hip flexors on her right hand side. Up, push up, and it's on both sides. So there are two things that might be going on. Again, it may be a foot issue, but usually in the case of a bilateral or a dual-sided hip flexor issue, it's going to be an upper neck issue. Okay? So let's have a look at that. So we always start with the electrical system first. We're going to have her place both of her hands on the bottom part of her head. Go place her fingers right there and right there. Beautiful, good. So we're going to have her touch her occiput or the back side of her head. When there are bilateral hip issues going on, it's usually the upper part of the neck. So up here, push up to the sky, push up, push up, push up, good. Up and push up. So if you notice when I put stress on the hip flexors here, they go strong. When she puts her hands behind her neck or her head. When she moves her hands down to her stomach here, up again, push up, push up, push up, push up. The legs now don't respond. So obviously we want working hip flexors, not weak hip flexors. So what we're going to do here is a very simple adjustment. We're going to adjust her upper part of the neck. I'm sorry, yeah, upper neck, occiput. Turn your head to your left. Turn your head to your right. So two simple adjustments, left and right occiput. Now after we adjusted them, the hip flexors should turn on, all right? Leg up, push up, push up, push up. Okay, so obviously these are now working. Up and push up. Beautiful. So again, low back pain may not come from the low back, may not even come from the hip flexors, although many times it does. Because it was happening both sides, we now look to the top of the neck for where the problem is coming from. So again, if you think that you need to take ibuprofen or Tylenol or aspirin for low back pain or headaches, always think you need to go to the source of the problem, not to the thing that covers it up. Okay. So as mentioned before, we want to look at the feet here to see if there are any feet issues. We're going to test and we're going to use an indicator muscle, which is her left glute. Push out. Good. We'll play with the right foot. I don't anticipate any problems here necessarily. Push out. Good. Excellent. Push out. Good. Excellent. Push out again. Good. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just squeezing the foot in different directions just to see if when the foot starts to flex and extend and walking or running, that there will be some problems. But when I stressed her foot, no problems came up. But I do anticipate some problems with the left side here. All right, so we'll use the opposite side, the opposite glutes as an indicator. Push out. Good. We're going to stress the foot back and forth. So we'll stress it here. Push out. And the weakness does show up. So in the clear, push out. The right glute stays really strong. But when we play with the left toes here, push out, it starts going weak. So that means that there's definitely a problem in the left foot here. We'll go and stress the foot up or the toes in the extension position. Goes weak as well too. We'll squeeze the foot, push out, that goes weak. We'll stress the heel, push out. Again, that goes weak too. As a result, we're also going to find that there may be some issues with the entire left part of the leg. When you look at the toes and the way she holds her feet, the right foot is fairly straight, but the left leg tends to be splayed outwards, and so that can be a result of what's happening or not happening inside the foot here biomechanically. So we're going to go ahead and look at the way that the other part of the leg is working. I'm suspecting that because the heel and the foot are not working right, we're going to have a calf or gastroc that isn't working as well too. So let's test that. Raise the knee up, point the foot down, pull your foot to your butt, please. Foot to your butt and pull. Again, so when she tries to pull her foot to her butt, it doesn't work. But we know that the left or the right foot does work, so I'm not anticipating any problems when she does the same test on her right hand side. Pull your foot to your butt and pull. So when she pulls, there's no problem whatsoever. But unless we test the left side just like before and pull, and the leg goes weak. Okay, so definitely is an indication that there is a foot problem going on. So we'll go adjust the foot. We can adjust the entire foot. We'll adjust each or most of the joints inside the foot. Okay. And your leg here. Good. Up, down. Good. Good. Nice little pop there. Dropping you down to the side. Good. Okay. So now when we test the foot, which it definitely feels a lot looser, and definitely a lot more flexibility inside the foot, which is a really good thing to see. Even when I touch or I palpate the toes and I move back and forth, I don't feel a whole lot of tension like I felt in the very beginning. In fact, it feels a lot better than the right side does. So we're going to go ahead and flex the toes again. We're going to play with the foot. Good. So now when we flex the toes, we stress the feet here, push out. Good. The right side, which is an indicator, now stays strong, and it should be. In the beginning, it wasn't. It went from strong to weak, which meant that there were foot problems on the left. We'll go ahead and do the calf test, which you saw before. Point the foot down. Before we had her bring her foot to her butt, the calf or the leg went weak and pull. Good. And now it stays strong. Okay. So Carrie was complaining about low back pain. We want to look more specifically at the pelvis and also the low back. So we'll have her bring her feet together here to the corner and push. We'll have her push both feet to her left. This is testing the quadratus lumborum on the left hand side. Push to your left and push. Very good. The same thing, push to the right. Push. Good. So interesting. So when she pushes her feet to her left again, push. Watch how easy it is for her to hold that. That's ridiculously strong. But if we do the same thing to the right side, it just doesn't do anything. So again, we're thinking we need to go to the nervous system first, turn the electricity down, and then go to the other issues downstream. We'll go ahead and adjust. We're going to go ahead and adjust the lower back here. So here, roll into your side, this side up. All right, bend this leg here. Squeeze gently, very good. Deep breath in, roll out. Good, other side. hips up, head up, get back down. So again, two simple adjustments to the low back, one to the lower, one to the upper. And we'll do the same test. So when she brought her feet together to the left-hand side, it stayed strong. We'll just retest it, push. I didn't think that there's gonna be a change there. But when we tested to the right side, push right. So now we test it. It does stay strong. However, after doing this a couple thousand times, you get the feeling, or I get the feeling that there's something else going on there. So I'm gonna have her push, but then we'll have her push, and we'll hold the push for about 3 seconds. Here, push, and it starts to go weak. Okay, which means that there's probably a strain somewhere into the low back. All right. So Carrie, take a deep breath in, breathe out, hold it out. Good. So what we're doing here, that there's a probable strain in her right low back from probably excessive lifting, or maybe lifting in the wrong technique. Carrie's been lifting for quite a while, so she should know proper technique. But every now and then again, when you're in the gym, and you fatigue, your form tends to go. That's when injuries tend to set in. Good. That's all right. Push both feet to your right and push. Okay. Now when we push, it stays strong. So there may have been instances, maybe she was picking up her kids, maybe she was in the gym, an hour too longer than she was. Maybe she pushed the weight maybe a little too soon during her workout, or whatever. It could be even simple as like bending down, picking a quarter off the ground that she picked up wrong. Funny thing that usually people that have low back pain that come in here, it's not because they were pushing too much weight inside the gym. You use something simple like bending down, picking a piece of paper off the floor or something like that. Okay, so we wait just a little bit. We're going to retest that low back. Push both legs to your right. Push. Good. Excellent. So the low back is holding strong, and basically after doing some therapy to the low back muscles, the low back is now easier to fire. In the beginning, we also saw that the hip flexors were not firing. It's been a few minutes. We're going to retest the hip flexors to see if the hip flexors are turned back on here. Right leg up, push up to the sky, push up. Beautiful. Good. Up and push up. Good. Okay. So the hip flexors are definitely working again, so we know we've done our job. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Come on up. 1, 2, and 3. And turn to your left, both legs off the table. So in the beginning too, we tested her left shoulder. Left shoulder is fine, but the right shoulder didn't work quite properly. So we're gonna have her push up, push up, push up. Good. And then push back towards me, push back. So right shoulder works. And same here. Push up to the sky, push up. Good. Push back towards me. Good. Excellent. So she's all clear. She's ready to go into back to her family life, back to work, and also back to the gym. So if you want to get a correction, that's the way you get done. All right. Thanks.